1984, when he addressed the men of the 2nd Ranger Battalion who took those cliffs on D-Day, which eventually guaranteed the success of the Normandy landings. And even though that speech was specific to them, the words he said apply to all of you and apply to everyone who served our nation, from the first shot at the Old North Bridge to those who are currently serving our nation. And the president said, "You were young the day you took these cliffs. Some of you were hardly more than boys with the deepest joys of life before you. Yet you risked everything here. Why? Why did you do it? What impelled you to put aside the instinct for self-preservation and risk your lives to take these cliffs? What inspired all the men of the armies that met here? We look at you and somehow we know the answer. It was faith, it was belief, it was loyalty, it was love. The men of Normandy had faith that what they were doing was right, faith that they fought for all humanity, faith that a just God would grant them mercy on this beachhead or the next. It was the deep knowledge, and pray God we have not lost it, that there is a profound moral difference between the use of force for liberation and the use of force for conquest. You were here to liberate, not to conquer, and so you and those others did not doubt your cause, and you were right not to doubt. We are blessed today to look upon all of your faces of those we love and appreciate so much. And we are so blessed to be able to learn the names of all of you. In the AMC series Turn, which is about General George Washington's firing during the American Revolution, the actor portraying the general tells one of his officers, "Our nation owes its very life to those whose names we will never know." We now know more of those names, and those names likely know hundreds more. We are beyond grateful for all of you and truly do owe our lives and very way of life to you. We draw no distinction between our vets of our nation's various wars because there is no distinction to be drawn. You all did your duty, the duty you were asked to do. We are hopeful that this honor flight will, in some very small way, show you how grateful we are as a community and a nation to all of you for what you have done for us.
Can you see by the dawn's early light?
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being here. Good morning.
Yeah. Cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. So have a pretty smooth flight, maybe a little mountain wave as we head east across the Rockies.
Talk so much about that.
All right, here we go.
So you got there in 51, you were a young pup?
Yeah, I was a young pup, I didn't know nothing. Right off the farm. And I never seen so many Chinese in all my life. I thought we wasn't going to make it. I prayed. Boy, I prayed.
Well, I had orders for Korea.
Did you?
But the IG found out that I was a woman and said I couldn't go. No women in combat.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army. Guard of Honor, 2 of the Unknown Soldier. The ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing. Thank you. set. Arms. Forward. March.
Look familiar? I didn't notice before, but you're coming out of the trees into an open space. That's what you carried?
That's what I carried, yeah. See, they're all wearing steel helmets. That was Army regulation. Our unit had a special dispensation from 8th Army that we were allowed to wear soft caps.
What?
Wear soft caps. Korean stock soft caps. He's got Army boots on. They made him wear. Oh, there's the radio. That was my second job. First job was carrying
Oh, that's huge.
punches. It's hard to see. Squad leader. It's just a squad leader. All riflemen. Somebody. The guy that carried the 30 caliber light machine gun. Oh, there's this over there. Things grew out of World War II because the war was so mobile. Everybody was running everywhere, so the INR platoons of the regimental headquarters regiments had to be patrolling hundreds of miles of road. So each squad had 3 jeeps at least. Sometimes they would reconnoiter more. They had standard 3 issue. One with a heavy machine gun mounted on it, and one of them sometimes with a light machine gun, and then a commander's vehicle. And they'd squirrel up and down the roads. Well, when most of the time I was there, the road situation was kind of stationary, so patrolling the roads was relatively easy. You just squirreling out, partial day. But our main job at that time was to run night recon patrols, which company commanders and regimental commanders used that information to make daily decisions. They'd have patrols running out at night. Enemy'd have patrols running out at night. Everybody trying to avoid everybody and get as much information as you could while you're out. But occasionally they'd run out of information, and so the commanders would want prisoners. So they'd send out ambush patrols. The idea was to ambush one of the other recon patrols that was running around bring back guys so they could pump them for information. They got so desperate in the latter stages by the time that if you were able to bring back a prisoner, you got a 3-day passage ban. we never did.
That's awesome.
The idea was to get as much information in a static position as possible. Every 20 feet or so along the tunnel would be a bunker dug in the ground, but they were exposed.
I see.
They weren't covered
Okay.
for the most part. Sometimes they put a little try to put a little camouflage on them, but
Oh,
the
so it's sort of
camouflage-
like a trench.
yeah,
I
just
see.
big deep trenches, usually 5-6 feet deep, so that you and then you throw all the dirt out on top, so it makes in a lot of places be 7 feet of cover, which is good when mortars come in. All you had to do is just flop down the trench. You had pretty good cover. But when the heavy artillery came, they made bunkers. It must have cost $1 gazillion, but they brought in 12 by 12 inch, 8 foot long Lincoln logs. Remember the old Lincoln logs?
Yeah.
Exactly like that, on a grander scale. And they were notched. They were pre-notched and numbered, so that you could just bring them in. You dug out a big hole. You set the Lincoln logs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around, covered them over with dirt, jumped in it, looked out the parapet, and you were ready to go. So that was every so far down the trenches would be those, and you've got 12 inches, and most of them were solid oak, so they were super
Pretty heavy.
strong, like steel almost, and they would withstand a lot of artillery, except a really direct hit. Well, the INR platoon ran both. They had two missions. One was recon, running around and going out on patrol. The other was observation. They had observation posts. Some of them would be integrated in with the tunnel system. And some of them would be 50, 100, 500 yards out in front of the main line, embedded in the ground. And we manned those with usually whole squads sometimes would rotate a week at a time. And they'd take, inside they'd have these, forgot the name of them now, they're binocular scope. The scope comes up, and
like
you've seen
a
them in the old
periscope?
World War II movies. They look like this. Down below you look into like a periscope.
Yeah.
And you had handholds and dials that you could use to find distance. So, and you're wired in with commo wire and a telephone to a command center. Some of our observation posts would be directly communicating with the artillery or with mortar units, occasionally with a tank unit. Somebody would call in and say, "We've got movement here," and you jump on the scope, and yeah, there it is. So that was an observer's job then to determine the coordinates from a map and call in fire. He'd give the coordinates and tell what was there, and then somebody downrange would make the decision what they would throw at it and how much. And quite often the observer had the option of giving the fire for effect. In other words, turn it all loose. Because getting the coordinates and coordinating the guns, the normal practice is to fire one long round that goes over the coordinates, and one short. When you've got that bracketed, you know you've got the coordinates in mind, and then you just drop everything in between. They call it fire for effect, They may shoot 10, 15, 20, 30 rounds there, depending on what the target is.
I see. What was your role in that?
I'm sorry?
What did you do with that? What part of that process were you directly involved in?
We rotated. I and our platoon had 3 squads, functional squads, because people came and left for different reasons. We were never really full strength. Would have been about 4 active platoon squads. We usually had 3. Sometimes only 2 of them would function because not enough personnel. But at least 1 squad would man the observation post, however many we had, and that varied on the sector you were assigned to. Sometimes it'd be 2, sometimes it'd be 1, sometimes it might be 3. And so you're spreading people out over that 3 was kind of tough. And then the other squad, and another one of the squads would be doing whatever night patrols or road patrols needed to be done. And the third one would sort of lay on their ass and kind of get their stuff together. We used to play pinochle. Everybody sat around, play
Kill
pinochle,
time.
drink beer, particularly in the afternoon and evenings, unless there was a scheduled patrol at night, and it was frowned on if you drank beer.
Get some sleep.
In the middle of the night, you'd stake them out in the front of the hillside, cut their stomachs open, stuff grass in it, just let them lay there and scream and yell until they finally died. That was their mode of action.
That's what the North Koreans did to South Korea.
For some reason, the Chinese weren't that bloodthirsty. But most of them didn't want to be there in the first place. They wanted to get the hell out. But
When you were deployed, what did you enjoy more than getting letters from home? Over about the last, going home? Okay. About the last month or so, our volunteers have been communicating with your family and friends, and they have sent you notes and letters telling you how much they love you and how much they appreciate you.
From your family and friends.
What you got there? Got a lot of mail.
like Christmas.
recognize those old folks?
My grandmother never ever smiled. But I got a picture of her sometime just before she passed. She was holding a chicken. Pet chicken, I guess. I'm not sure how the chicken ever got there. But she had this little smile.
Welcome back. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking care of him. I'm thinking he was a handful.
I got your name tag. See?
You give them that good VIP service out there, yeah?
Were you a handful? Were you a handful?
Somebody said so.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Thank you for coming down to see me.
Hey, had a good time?
You bet.
That's what it's about.
Look at this. This is awesome.
Welcome home, sir. Good trip, right? Good trip.
Hi, hey.
Welcome back, sir. Thank you for your service. Korea? Oh my goodness. Welcome back. Welcome home, Thank you, guys. Thanks for your service. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
I got you.
Hey, man. Thanks for coming. Buddy.
Just minor scratches.
Yeah.